I was in my apartment one night when I heard a knock on my door, and it was her. She was wearing a very sexy nightgown, and before I could say a word, she was kissing me. I asked her where her husband was, and she told me her husband was sleeping in bed. Before I could say a word, this woman was taking off my boxer shorts and going down on her knees. Hey! I'm back with new stories. How are you doing? I hope you are having an amazing day. If you are new to my channel, I'm Vera, but you can call me V. And I share stories that I receive from my subscribers. Stories in need of your advice and opinions. And so if this is something you love, subscribe and like this video. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that when I post, you'll be notified immediately. Today's shout out goes to Abigail Tete 442 for being the first person to comment on my last video. Thank you so much for the support, babe. I love you. And now sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Story number 1. Hi V. I'm a 35-year-old man and my sister is 25 years old. We've always had a close relationship, but things changed a bit when she graduated from the university. After finishing a degree, my sister told me she wanted to start her own boutique. I thought this was a great idea, so I decided to help her out financially. I gave her a considerable amount of money to help her open the boutique. But deep down, I also wanted her to become more independent and rely on me less. I believed that starting her own business would give her the confidence she needed. However, I was shocked when instead of using the money to open a boutique, my sister decided to spend it on her birthday celebrations and a trip with her boyfriend. I found out when she posted the pictures of the party and her travels on social media. I felt hurt and betrayed. I couldn't understand how she could spend the money I gave her for a business on a lavish celebration and a vacation. When I confronted her about what she did, she acted like she had not done anything wrong. She told me she deserved to celebrate her birthday and that she was stressed and needed a vacation. She said she was planning to open the boutique later. So I asked her whose money she would be using, and she just looked at me without saying a word, meaning that she was still expecting me to give her another money for her boutique. At that moment, I realized that I was spoiling her. I told her that I wouldn't give her any more money, even though I could afford it. My sister is furious with me. She feels I'm being harsh, and that giving her a little more support wouldn't hurt. My mom also called me, telling me to forgive my sister and help her again. Now, even though I love her, I feel like she needs to learn a lesson, and if I keep giving her money, she never will. She had taken advantage of my generosity, and so instead of the boutique, I've told her to apply for a job instead. She is not talking to me now. Am I the asshole for refusing to give her more money and asking her to find a job to do? Am I being too hard on her for wanting her to take responsibility for her choices? What do you all think? Babe, you're not the asshole in this situation. It is clear that you had good intentions when you decided to help her out. You wanted her to be successful and less dependent on you, which is understandable. However, babe, it is important to recognize that the money you gave her for a boutique was not a gift. It was an investment in her future. And when she chose to spend it on a celebration and a trip instead, it is natural for you to feel hurt and betrayed. A decision shows a lack of respect for your support. Babe, you are not wrong for refusing to give her more money. It is time for you to stop being the safety net when she is not willing to take her dreams seriously. Babe, you should stand firm on your decision. You deserve to protect your own finances and well-being. It is time for her to grow up. She's no longer a child. Spending money that she was supposed to use on a business, on a birthday and on a trip is very irresponsible. She did that because she knew you were going to be there to give her more. And babe, let her know that if she wants your support again in future, she needs to prove to you that she has learned from her mistake and she's serious about her goals. I think you are doing the right thing by holding her accountable. It is tough love, but sometimes that is what family needs. Take care of yourself. And now, if you have any advice for this sender, just write story number 1 and leave your advice and opinions. It's going to be in the comment sections, reading them. Don't go yet. I still have more interesting stories for you. And if you've not liked this video yet, please do. It is very important. Thank you. And now let's move on to story number 2. I'm hurting right now and I want to share my story because I need some advice. I've been with my boyfriend, who we will call Tom, for 6 years. Our relationship has been great and I'm very happy with him. Lately, I've been feeling the pressure to get engaged and get married. I'm growing old, and I thought we both wanted to take this step. But whenever I brought it up, he never seemed interested. As my 30th birthday got closer, I thought it would be the perfect time to propose to him. If he was not going to propose, then I will. I imagined a nice moment with my family and friends there to celebrate. I felt excited and nervous, thinking he might finally say yes. On my birthday, I gathered everyone together. When the moment came, I got down on one knee and asked Tom to marry me. To my shock, he said no. I felt so embarrassed in front of everyone. My heart sank and I couldn't believe what was happening. After the proposal, Tom pulled me aside and told me he still wants to date me. He told me he loves me but isn't ready to get married yet. He asked me to give him more time. Now I'm confused. Part of me wants to wait for him since I've already wasted so much time on him, hoping he will change his mind. But I feel hurt and embarrassed, and I don't know if I should just move on. What do you think I should do? Should I wait for him or is it time to move on? Babe, I'm so sorry for what you are going through. Proposing to someone you love is a big deal. And being told no in front of your family and friends is really hard. It is normal to feel embarrassed and hurt right now. Babe, you deserve to be with someone who wants the same future as you. You've been with Tom for 6 years and he's telling you he isn't ready to propose to you. Babe, you need to think about whether this relationship is what you really want. Love matters, but so do your goals for the future. Waiting for him to be ready might mean spending more time hoping he will change his mind, which can lead to more headache later on. You deserve to be with someone who sees a future with you right now, not someone who keeps saying they need more time. 6 years is a long time, babe. And it is fair for you to want to know if he's serious about wanting to be with you. This man might string you along and never propose. Normally, it is men who propose to women. And so for a woman to do it and for the man to say no, it's a big red flag, babe. Especially when it is a man you've spent 6 years of your life with. I think it is time for you to move on. I don't think this man wants to marry you. Think about what you truly want. If getting married is important to you and he can't commit, then babe, it might be time to consider moving on. I know it is not going to be easy, but you should be with someone who is excited to take that next step with you. If you want, you can talk to him again. Give him an ultimatum. And if he's still not ready to commit to you, it might be time for you to focus on yourself and find someone who will. You deserve to be loved, valued, and excited in your relationship. Don't settle for anything less, babe, and I'm wishing you all the best. And now, if you have any advice for this sender, write story number 2 and leave your advice and opinions. She's going to be in the comment sections reading them. Let's move on to story number 3. I have always been on greeting terms with this beautiful woman who lives in the next apartment with her husband in the apartment complex I live in. She will greet me when she sees me and I will greet her when I see her. You should see this woman's body. Her body is out of this world. I am physically attracted to this woman, but she's married, and so I always respect myself and stay far away from her. And her husband is also a soldier, and I don't want any problems. Now, everything started on a regular Saturday morning when her husband suddenly moved out after a huge fight with his wife. I didn't know what happened, but it was clear he was angry, and the atmosphere felt different. I was sitting on my balcony and witnessed all this. I didn't see him for the next couple of days around the apartment complex, and I just chose to mind my own business. I still saw Jessica around, but she always looked sad and lost. Then one night, I came home to meet her sitting on the stairs crying. She started talking about her husband and how things between them had changed overnight. She looked weak, and when she told me she had not eaten that day, I went to get food for her from a restaurant close by and walked there to her apartment. I asked her to eat and sleep and that things would get better soon. I began checking up on her often, wanting to make sure she was okay. As the days went by, our friendship grew. We started talking more and hanging out together, and I quickly became drawn to her. One night, things heated up and we slept together. This woman was so sweet, and I knew I had crossed the line, but I couldn't help but once more. I knew it wasn't right, but being with her felt amazing, and Jessica seemed to want me just as much. One evening, after we finished doing the do, Jessica told me she wanted to talk to me about something, and she looked serious. She told me that she wanted to be with me for real. My heart raced because I liked her, but I didn't want to have a serious relationship with her. I just wanted it to stay casual. She was still married, and I knew her husband would eventually move back since he had started calling her frequently. I tried to explain that to her, but she was determined to be with me. I could see that she was starting to fall for me, and it scared me a little. The desire between us was strong, but I was worried about what would happen if her husband finds out. The guy was a soldier and a street guy. He hardly smiled, and from his abs and his body stature, I knew he could easily beat me and throw me around if he wanted to, and I didn't want to deal with any problems. Then her husband moved back home, and I felt panic set in. I realized I had to end things with Jessica. I told her we couldn't keep seeing each other, but this woman would not listen. I was in my apartment one night when I heard a knock on my door, and it was her. She was wearing a very sexy nightgown, and before I could say a word, she was kissing me. I asked her where her husband was, and she told me her husband was sleeping in bed. Before I could say a word, this woman was taking off my boxer shorts and going down on her knees. Hey! She did things to me I cannot write here, and we ended up making love. After everything, I told her we should stop sleeping together since her husband was back, but she wouldn't listen to me. She still keeps coming to my room every night when her husband falls asleep, and I can't control myself and end up sleeping with her. Every time I hear a soft knock, there she was, looking irresistible, her eyes filled with longing. I found it hard to say no to her, even though I knew I should. She has a key to my apartment, and now I'll be sleeping at night, and before I know it, she is beside me, touching and kissing me. No matter how many times I try to push her away, I keep falling into her temptation. I love sleeping with her, but the thought of her husband finding out makes me very scared. I don't want any trouble with him. Now that he's back, if he finds out, he's definitely going to unalive me. I am caught in a struggle between my feelings for Jessica and my fear of what will happen if her husband learns the truth. What should I do? How do I deal with these desires and cut ties with Jessica? I really don't know what to do. You really don't know what to do, babe? Are you sure you don't know what to do? Jessica is someone's wife. What do you mean you don't know what to do, babe? You are in a messy and risky situation right now. Getting involved with your neighbor's wife is complicated, especially since her husband is home now. You need to seriously think about what you are doing and what the consequences could be. Jessica is a married woman and her husband is right next door. Hey, some of you have Vimo. You know what to do, you just don't want to do it. Take your key from her and stop entertaining her. You need to set clear boundaries and be firm. You need to step away from this drama and save yourself a lot of trouble down the line. Think about how you would feel if the roles were reversed. Would you be happy with your neighbor sleeping with your wife? Come on. And remember, you're also putting yourself into danger with her husband being a soldier. They don't play like that too. If he finds out about this, things could escalate quickly. And you don't want to get involved in that kind of situation. Protect yourself and your future. You know what to do. Focus on getting yourself out of this tangled mess. And now, if you have any advice for this sender, write story number 2 and leave your advice and opinions. It's going to be in the comment sections, reading them. Let's move on to story number 4. V. Let me explain my situation because I could really use some advice. I've been seeing this guy, let's call him Jake, for about a year now. At first, we had a great time together. We enjoyed each other's company and had a really intense connection. But despite all that, he refused to put a label on our relationship. He always acted like we were more than friends, but he never called me his girlfriend even though we were sleeping together. Recently, I was shocked when I found out that Jake proposed to another girl and made her his girlfriend. I felt completely heartbroken. We had spent so much time together, shared our lives, and now he was moving on with someone else like it meant nothing. It hurts even more when I realized he wanted to keep sleeping with me even after starting this new relationship. It was like he didn't care about me at all. I struggled with my feelings for a few days and I didn't want to be part of this messy situation or be the other woman. So I decided it was time to move on and let him go. But then I got really angry. I wanted to lash out because his actions felt so manipulative. I thought about telling his new girlfriend everything, how he was dating her and still wanted to sleep with me on the side. I wondered if I should tell her and possibly make her leave him. Now I'm left wondering, Am I overreacting by wanting to expose him? Is it wrong for me to lash out in this way just because I'm hurt? I just want to get my feelings out and possibly protect someone else from his behavior. What do you think I should do? Babe, I think you should just let him go. Sometimes it is just not necessary to bring more drama into your life. Your feelings are totally normal. Finding out that the guy you've been sleeping with for a year proposed to another girl is really painful. And it is very understandable to feel hurt, angry, and confused. You've put your time and emotions into this relationship, and it feels unfair for him to move on just like that. I know telling his new girlfriend the truth feels good right now. But babe, this could create more drama and end up hurting you more in the long run. You might even tell this girl everything and she might still continue dating him. Or she might not even believe you at all. So babe, instead of seeking revenge, focus on yourself and focus on what will help you heal. Cut ties with Jay completely. Block him. Don't let him trick you into staying in his life. It is time to take your power and move on without him. Focus on things that make you happy and allow yourself to heal. It might take time, but you will get through this. Remember that you deserve someone who respects you and truly wants to be with you. Focus on finding someone who sees your value and wants a real relationship, not someone who keeps you eating on the side. You are worth more than that. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care of yourself. And now, if you have any advice for this and write story number 4 and leave your advice and opinions. She's going to be in the comment sections reading them. And now remember that this is a judgment-free zone. This is not a secret series. And so please be kind to them in the comment section. On here, we listen, we don't judge. Obviously, these issues are worrying them, and that is why they've sent their stories in the first place. So please be kind. And now, if you've not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for, babe? Subscribe and like this video. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that when I post, you'll be notified immediately. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Okay, I'm done. Bye.